my friends, and the intense activation of the Russians along the entire front line continues. And let's start right away with the Kupiansk direction. Here, besides assaults on the village of Tabayivka, the Russians have begun new attempts to enter Petropavlivka and are storming the outskirts of the village. Additionally, shelling continues along the entire front line, but there have been no changes within a day. In the Svatove direction, minimal shelling and offensive actions are still not recorded as before. In the Kreminna direction, the occupiers continue to storm the villages of Terny and Yampolivka. The activity is very high, 11 attacks per day, but there are no changes along the front line. Additionally, they continue to strike at the rear, particularly targeting Mykolaiivka near Slovyansk. In the Bakhmut direction, the occupiers have also increased the number of shelling along the entire front line and in the rear. Battles for Ivanivske and Kyiv continue, although only 2 attacks were conducted within a day. The Ukrainian Armed Forces are confidently holding their defense and not retreating. So the front line remains unchanged within a day, and the Ukrainian Armed Forces describe the situation from the ground as follows.
Most of Ivanivske is under our control. The eastern part is very difficult to hold positions, so the situation there is dynamic. They are trying to climb the flank from the north in order to squeeze through to the main road, which provides logistics, in the future. A lot of Russian equipment is being destroyed on the Ivanivske-Bakhmut road, breaking through. The outermost 9-story buildings in Bakhmut greatly interfere with our unit's tasks, enemy AGS, strike and reconnaissance UAVs. The construction of the defense line near Kostiantynivka has not begun.
Friends, as you can see, the question of the critical situation and the shortage of defensive lines persists once again. However, yesterday, the head of the Kyiv City Military Administration stated that several defense lines have been built around Kiev stretching for 1,000 kilometers.
Several lines of defense with a length of about 1,000 kilometers have been created around Kiev itself. The first line of Kiev is located quite far from the capital. Reliable systems of fire damage to the enemy, engineering barriers of all types, air and anti-tank defense, comprehensive support, etc., have been built, added the head of the Kyiv City Military Administration.
Friends, what are your thoughts on this? So share your opinion in the comments. In the Avdiivka direction, as before, there is significant activity, 22 attacks per day. The main battles are recorded around the outskirts of the village of Berdychi. The occupiers also attempt to break through again to Orlivka and to Nenke. However, no success was achieved within the day, despite Russian occupiers spreading information that they have captured both Berdychi and Orlivka. So, understandably, with a taste of success, they want to continue capturing more villages daily. However, yesterday, Syrsky visited this area, directed reinforcements, allocated additional ammunition and weapons. So here, the Ukrainian Armed Forces are doing everything to stabilize the situation. So it can now be said with certainty that it will be much more difficult for the occupiers to move towards Kharkivka. Additionally, the occupiers have intensified shelling of Ocheretine and Novobakhmutivka. There is a possibility that they will try to expand the controlled territory in this area. Moreover, as before, they have enough resources to conduct daily offensive actions on Pervomaiske and Nevelske. However, as before, they have no success, and the Ukrainian Armed Forces crush all their advancing groupings. In the Marinka direction, the occupiers conducted 22 attacks within a day. Today, they are intensively storming Krasnohorivka from two sides and are trying to enter the village again. So it's worth reminding that they have already attempted recently, but failed to establish a presence as the Ukrainian Armed Forces launched a counterattack and cleared the village. Now they are trying to achieve success again. Similarly, intense battles are taking place around Avdiivka with a significant amount of shelling on the village. But they cannot advance, and the front line remains unchanged. Near the village of Pobeda, their occupiers cannot expand their controlled territory, so they continue to suffer losses and hold onto the village. However, the situation in Novomykhailivka is extremely challenging. Ukrainian positions are being targeted by artillery and aviation from both sides with constant assault actions. But even despite such a challenging situation, the Ukrainian Armed Forces maintain their defense and don't retreat. In the Vuhledar direction, the occupiers have once again begun using grenades with chloropicrin, as stated by the spokesperson for the Tavria command. However, regardless of what the Russians do, the front line remains unchanged. Yesterday's attacks on Robotyne were unsuccessful. Today, only shelling is being reported. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the occupiers are attempting to break through into Robotyne from two sides, but as before, they are unsuccessful. The Ukrainian Armed Forces successfully repel the attacks, and the front line remains unchanged. However, the Russians are trying to shell the entire near-front area, so complicating the reinforcement transfer to Robotyne. Therefore, the situation is challenging in any case, but according to reports from Russian war correspondents, the Ukrainian Armed Forces managed to reclaim lost positions.
In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the Dnipro main military station in the area of the settlement of Robotyne. Today, our troops withdrew from the village of Robotyne, where they held the school base on the southern outskirts of this village for 3 days. In general, the situation in the Dnipro military complex is deplorable. One gets the impression that the opponent knows all our moves in advance. In other words, he knows what, when, and where General Teplinsky will do.
In the Kherson direction, the occupiers continue to shell the right bank and have made 4 attempts within a day to dislodge the Ukrainian Armed Forces from the foothold on the left bank. However, they were unsuccessful and the front line remains unchanged. Although Russian war correspondents report
in the Kherson direction in the area of Kreminna. Today, according to Teplinsky's newspeak, the village of Krynky was not cleaned up. The enemy continues to hold the bridgehead. Moreover, the bridgehead continues to expand.
So far, we are waiting to see how events unfold. And today, there is also some good news. So the USA is considering a new plan for the rapid delivery of weapons to Ukraine from Pentagon stocks.
The Biden administration is considering whether to provide Ukraine with badly needed arms and ammunition from Pentagon stockpiles, even though the government has run out of money to replace those munitions, according to 2 U.S. officials and a senior lawmaker. Such a move would be a short-term measure to help tide over Ukraine's armed forces until Congress breaks a months-long impasse and approves a larger military aid package to the country, the official said. But in considering whether to tap into the Pentagon stockpiles again, The administration is weighing both the political risks and questions about American military readiness.
How quickly this will happen remains to be seen. And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.